Welcome back to another episode of EVTV. I'm Noah.
And I'm Tori.
Gypsum, Colorado is known for its many gypsum deposits around town, and the American Gypsum mining plant is known as one of the most efficient gypsum mines in the U.S. But just how efficient are they? For more on this, we go to Otto and Sam.
I'm sure most of you have seen the steam stacks in the morning coming from the American Gypsum plant, but not many people know what happens behind the factory walls. To learn more, we talked to plant manager Chuck Zaruba.
So I have worked in the wallboard industry for the last 21 years, directly out of college. I went to school at Iowa State University and got my bachelor's in chemical engineering. Began work for one of our competitors who recruited me directly out of college. Worked in 3 of their wallboard manufacturing plants. Came to this facility about 15 years ago as the production manager, and then 7 years ago took over as the plant manager. The gypsum company itself is probably about 30 years old. And originally our first wallboard manufacturing plant was purchased in the Albuquerque area. And then shortly thereafter they built a second plant in the same Albuquerque area about 15 miles north of Albuquerque. They then purchased this plant back in 1999, and they purchased a large facility in Oklahoma shortly thereafter. This facility is the only one in Colorado, and it is, by all accounts, the most efficient wallboard manufacturing facility in the nation. So typically, in a manufacturing environment like this, you want to have 24/7 operations, because every time you shut down the line, you incur waste and delay, and therefore increase your costs. So typically what's going to happen, at least in this facility, our 24 hours is covered by 2 shifts, 2 12-hour shifts versus, say, 3 8-hour shifts. The Eagle County area is very much a service industry. The one thing that this facility does that a lot of the other employers in the area does not do is to provide more of a diversified economy. There's not a lot of manufacturing in our area. So actual revenues that we're able to generate, a lot of those then go into tax revenues for the town of Gypsum, the county, the state. In order to make the wallboard for the housing market, we typically run through about 500,000 to 600,000 tons of gypsum annually, and basically that produces 700,000 MSF, and 1 MSF equals 1,000 square feet. So basically, we are making enough wallboard every day here at this facility to run from this plant to Denver linearly. So about 2 million square feet a day is what we're producing. So when you look at American Gypsum, we are one of 5 major players in the manufacturing of wallboard in the United States. We're actually one of the smaller.
We were also lucky enough to get a step-by-step tour of the daily production process.
Like I said, it just rips up about 6 to 8 inches of that rock. It leaves a nice windrow behind it. And in the windrow, you can actually see the difference between the high purity gypsum and the low purity gypsum. The high purity gypsum is what we will use to actually make the wallboard. The low purity gypsum we actually keep up at the mine, and then we use it to recontour and reclaim the areas that we've previously mined. So the good stuff is kind of a lighter shade, as you can see over here in this pile, and that's what will be loaded into the semis and brought down here to the plant to make wallboard. The lower purity gypsum is much darker, so we can see it in the windrows behind here. The loader will actually sort out the lighter material from the darker material. The darker material then gets loaded into our waste trucks, which then take it around to the areas that we're currently recontouring.
Once the gypsum is mined, it is taken down to the plant to begin processing.
So those impact mills are where all the rock falls in. That clam-shaped thing, the round thing, basically there's a shaft that goes through the middle, spins at high RPM, and there's steel bars that swing around that thing, pulverizing the rock. Basically what we're doing is we're taking that plaster and any of our dry additives, whether it's clay, vermiculite, sugar, whatever, we dump all of that into the mixer, hit it with a bunch of water, and that mixer is basically like a big blender, right? You just throw your dry and your wet in there and it mixes it all up. And then it shoots it out onto the paper. So back here we've got paper rolls set up. And this is a specialty board that we're making today. It's only 2 foot wide. Normally wallboard's 4 foot wide.
Once the board is cut down to 30 feet, it is sent into a series of dryers.
A big long conveyor oven, right, but 10 decks tall, and we've got 4 of them back to back to back. So zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. So basically 4 ovens back to back to a specific temperature depending on the product that we're making at the time. Right now, zone 1, about 667 degrees is our delivery temp. So that's going to be a cooler zone. Zone 2 will be a little bit warmer, and then it'll be lower going on down through zones 3 and 4. And that'll cut the long boards into the relative size that we're going to use. So you see over here, it's taking that 30-foot board and it's going to cut it into 3 10-foot boards, 3 sets of 10s. It goes through the finish saws, it gives us a nice smooth cut on each end, and then through the bundlers, which unitizes the board. Into the stackers will stack it up, and then eventually when a stacker fills up, it'll lift up, and then the forklift will come in and grab it. The semis are staying within about a 500-mile radius. Anything more than that is typically going out by rail car. So during the day we're loading the semis, and then in the evenings we're loading rail cars. So there's actually, you can see the big open overhead door down there. There's a railroad track you can kind of make out over here. So we just bring the railroad cars inside, load them up at night, and ship them out. Basically what we're doing is we're taking a mountain of rock, mining it, bringing it down to the plant, processing it, turning it into a mountain of wallboard, and then shipping that mountain out 1 truck at a time to make the buildings and the homes that are going up all across the state and the region.
The manufacturing and installation of wallboard provides countless jobs and houses. This facility is also a huge part of our local economy. As you can see, there is a lot more to American Gypsum than the steam stacks you see in the morning.
I have one more question. Are the walls made of American Gypsum here?
These ones, yes. This wallboard all came out of our Albuquerque facility when we were building this plant.
All right, thank you.
Special thanks to Chuck Zaruba and the American Gypsum workers. This has been Otto and Sam.
Our EVHS girls volleyball team had a great season this year. Showed that all their hard work paid off in practice. We wanted to know what went on behind the scenes. For more, we go to Zosha and Emily.
Our Eagle Valley volleyball team has been doing well this season. Coach Garvey has been super excited for the team and the different opportunities this season has presented.
I think this past weekend we were able to go down and play some 5A schools in a little mini tournament. And I think our team finally played at the level that they thought they could get to. And so it was exciting to see their reaction to it and kind of the smiles on their faces of, hey, this is what we thought we were going to be all along. And I'm confident that that's the way they're going to finish the season. I don't think we'll lose that.
As the season comes to an end, Coach Garvey has felt very excited and proud to coach the girls.
No, I would just like to add that I'm proud of them, of every one of them. We have 40 girls in the program. That's 40 people that are experiencing stress and troubles and problems in different ways. So we're excited as coaches not only be able to teach them volleyball, but hopefully we can teach them how to be better people.
The girls have been working hard in practice every day after school. We wanted to take a look and see exactly just what happens during a volleyball practice.
Oh! Go team! Oh, why me cranking, why me up? Hey guys. Oh shit. Wanna say hi?
Hello.
Oh, you stay out! Oh, I got it. Go out. See. What? Did you know that I can't roll my R's? I can roll with the back of my throat, but not my tongue. Ready?
That is your tongue.
No, that was the dingly thing that's in the back of my throat.
That's your tongue.
No, people.
Tip. Go, 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 go! Go, go, go! Gotcha! I got it. Ace in your face. Nice!
Eagle Valley is super proud of its girls volleyball team. Thanks for watching. This has been Emily and Zosha.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of EVTV. Until next time.